Hello everybody and welcome back to part 4 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy 1 on the Pixel Remaster collection. Continuing on from last time, we completed the Marsh Cave and the Elven Castle. As you can see there, we got all the chests in each location as well. And we're getting ready to proceed on further with the story now that we've defeated the Dark Elf King, resurrected the Elf Prince, or woke up the Elf Prince. So the next thing I want to do is just restock on items. So we're going to use the item shop in Cornelia. So just want to stock up on all the generic items. Mainly we're going to want some ethers because we should start going through spell slots quite quickly. And we want a bunch of gold needles because we're about to start suffering with petrification. But yeah, just stockpile up, just get whatever you can afford, but you can keep an excess of money. I always like having 99 potions just because we'll burn through them as healing instead of using it for magic. But we'll head back outside of Cornelia, and we're going to head west this time and create a new location on the world map that we can go to. So now that we've finished in Cornelia, we'll go back into the boat, which after getting the chests from Mystic Key, this is where I left it. So west a little bit and up, and we've ended up where we can proceed with expanding into the world and the new continents. So head a little bit over here and you should find a cave entrance. And inside we're going to find, I think they're gnomes, but I can't remember the exact race that they are. So there's going to be a lot of characters in here to talk to, and this is going to be a different area. This is going to be an area we come back to later for one of the best weapons in the game. I'm going to talk to each of them. They'll give you random bits of dialogue, because technically you can come here a lot earlier than we have done, but there'll be mentions about obviously their Astos stole Matoya's crystal eye. The first one we spoke to can do an amazing backflip. Explaining again, the crystal eye was stolen and you can use it to see. There's a smith in here, and this is a smith we're going to use later to make the super weapon of the game, Excalibur. But there's a couple of chests in here, as you saw, that we got, and we're going to be looking for a very specific character that wants the nitro powder that we got from the Concordia castle to allow us to proceed further on to the world with our ship, because at the moment we have no way of getting around the world other than with the boat that we acquired from the pirates. So in here is a bunch more chests. We're going to stockpile up on these and get some good loot. So tent, great helm, worm killer, ether, potions, which we already maxed out on, mithril mail, some more gil, and a cottage. So some items here that we can equip on the warrior, but nothing too stand out. The worm killer is nice just because it does increase damage against like worms and dragons and whatnot, but the mithril items that we got are definitely something that I should probably equip, although I'm not sure if the defense reduction is worth it at the moment for the iron armor, but later on it definitely will be. Again, the monk's still wearing nothing, or it's got no equipment on, and there's nothing new really for the Wight and black mage. So this is the character we need to speak to, Nerrick. With the nitro powder, he's going to set off a big blast to destroy the connecting part of this island to the one below, and then we'll get a new route that we can sail through to expand and broaden our horizons around the world. So he's just setting up the powder now, and then we're going to have to run away because there's going to be a very big blast. So we'll run away in a quick cutscene with him, and then we'll soon see the results of the nitro powder that we gave him. So just south of where we are, you can see there's a connecting bit over the water, and with the chain reactions, it's falling apart, and we've got a route through. So we're going to be sailing through there shortly in order to proceed forward with the next segment of the story, but you can see the chain reactions felt far and wide for ages. There we go. Let's go and check on your handiwork, Nerek. Yep. We get the classic music, so we know that the job was a success. So, Nerek's going to go check on his handiwork. Strangely, even if we proceed south in here, we can't notice anything, so... Didn't quite break where we can access, so we'll have to go all the way up and around, grab back our boat, and then sail through that new gap that's been produced. But none of the dialogue on any of the dwarves as such will have changed in here, so gnomes. But yeah, here's the smith. So if we can get him some adamantite, he'll forge a weapon for us. But we need to go and get the adamantite, which we are not going to encounter for quite a while, as is always the case with adamantite. So heading on back to the boat, just up here, we can proceed onwards and get to some new locations. So we go. Encounters while sailing are always pretty frequent, but yep, there's a small gap here now, and we can proceed through. No new enemies on this side of the water yet, though. And immediately we come to another town, and I hate docking like that. I want to dock completely in there. So this is the next town of Melmond. Now this town is a little bit unique in that there are some shops here that we're typically going to be using. We typically use in a city or a village that are no longer here. That being the item shop and the temple. So if we want to restock on that, we'll have to go back to Concordia, Elfheim. But there's still an inn, which is perfect. As long as nobody gets knocked out, we can resurrect. As long as nobody gets knocked out, we can heal up our party members. But there's some new white magic here that we're going to want. Specifically, I want Diaga, Life, and Hilara. Hilara is basically the multi-hit cure spell in this game, whereas Curaga and that become that in future installments. But Hilara is probably the one we're going to be using quite a lot outside of battle going forward. And then there's also a Black Mage shop here. But I want to continue talking to all the characters just in case any interesting dialogue for people to see. But yes, inside the Black Mage shop, we're going to pick up Fyraga, definitely, and I'm not sure on any of the others. We've not got much money anyway, but Scourge is kind of lackluster. Teleport's nice because it's a way of getting out of dungeons, but Slow-Ra is, again, so-so, and then a lot of enemies end up becoming completely unaffected by status ailments later on into the game. So there's a broken down ruin there. There's also a weapon shop here and a armor shop. But that's it. Yep, there's definitely no item shop and no temple here. So inside here, there's nothing really new we can get unless you want to pick up a long sword for a minor improvement on the warrior, which I'll grab anyway, just because again I like having one of each. But the accuracy will go down for a damage bump up of 2. So it's up to you if you think it's worth it. The accuracy go down by... I don't think it is, so I'd much prefer hitting all my attacks. And then the way up to the armor shop is through here. There's some more characters around to speak to. Basically, the earth around here is dying, as you can see in the village, and we're potentially going to have to help them out. Something is causing all the earth to decay and weep quicker than it ever should do. So in here, we can get another silver armlet for one of the mages if we value the defense increase for them. But other than that, there's nothing really new we want. The knight's armor is good, but expensive, and isn't really something you'll need. By the time we kind of get to the point that we need the money for, that we'd have the money for it, we should be able to get better armor and equipment, so we can skip that. And it's also very, very heavy. So our evasion and that would go right down. So the Worm Killer and the Werebuster all do unique things, as do the Runeblade that we've got on. They just have... They're super effective against specific types of enemies. So if you equip them against those, you'll do more damage than you would otherwise just attacking normal things. But again, the game's not that difficult that you really need to change gear. I kind of go with what's most useful in the current situation, or what will be good against the common enemies that we typically face. Oh, so immediately outside we're going to find our next set of enemies that we need to encounter, the Ghasts. We've done the ghouls before. Tougher than ghouls, but not by much. But again, they just inflict the paralyze ailment, which is an annoying one to have to deal with. So yeah, just checking my equipment again, but I don't believe there's anything new I have ready to equip, especially for the Black Mage. But in this area, we want to proceed west, and we're looking for a specific cave. No new enemies found yet, so down here, south now, you can see the little triangle bit on the map. This is the cave that we're looking for, but... Oh, tarantulas, no. Always get poisoned a lot with tarantulas, but thank God we've got poisoner. So this is the cave that we're looking for, but before I head inside, there's at least, I'm pretty sure it's 2 more enemies that I'm looking for. So, still hunting, and there's one of them, the Lesser Tiger. So these have very high crit rates, but again aren't too tough that we should be able to take them down with 1 or 2 hits. The monk should be one-shotting almost everything in the game at the moment. The warrior may occasionally need assistance, but nothing's too bad to deal with. But that's one of the enemies we're looking for, so there's one more that I'm hoping to find in this area, and I will meet you back once I've encountered it. Messing around in the swamp directly outside, and there it is, the Hyenadon. So they're pretty quick, and they come with a lot of ogres, but again, nothing too worrying. The warrior and the monk should both take them out in a set of hits each, and then now I've just got all these ogres to clear out, which... The amount of times we fought them in the past should be relatively simple to do. Yeah. The warrior and the monk are turning into the beat sticks that they should be now on the white mage and black mage are just there for utility support and spellcasting anytime that's needed. But there we go, most of the party's up to level 20, so we've been doing quite well. So just headed back to heal, and now we're getting ready to proceed inside. So let's head into the cave. So this one is the Cavern of Earth. We've got quite a few new enemies and chests to get in here, as well as meeting something a couple of floors down. So first encounter is nothing that we need. So proceeding the north route, they're going to enter a room. Yep, nothing new again. There's going to be a room up here with a chest in that we're going to be after. No new enemies found yet, but we get some enemies pop out the box, and an Earth Elemental. So this again is a new enemy, and as the name tells you, it's designed more off the Earth element, so Earth attacks will do a lot less, but they're not tough enough that they'll survive a multitude of hits in the party now, so relatively easy clean up there. And level 20 on the last class, and we just get some gil from that. But it's worth healing up, just to make sure you're at tip-top health, especially with the monk, because the defense is a bit low and you can go down quite easily. So now we're just going to head back to the start of the room where we originated, and then we'll proceed in the next direction. Still nothing new, so heading back down, and this time we're going to proceed left. And there's going to be 2 monster NPC interactions we can deal with over here after that encounter. We'll just heal up and get ready for these. I really need to sort this my items here because it's all over the place. It's got random weapons that I'm never going to use first, but yeah, I want all my healing items come first. So just heal up the white mage and the monk from those fights. So here we go. It's the lizard and the hill Gigas. So the hill Gigas is a new enemy. I don't believe the lizard is. The hill Gigases are going to hit quite hard and they're going to be quite tanky. I think they have about 220 HP each, but they shouldn't pose too much of a threat, but they're the first things that start hitting quite hard into the warrior at the moment. But enough attacks will take them down, and then we can start focusing on the lizards afterwards. But yeah, 21 to 30 damage per hit on the warrior isn't too scary, but there are points if they crit especially where they can do upwards of about 80 to 100. The next hill Gigas should go down with a single hit, and now we can just start clearing out the lizards. We'll just solidify that. The monk's multi-hits at this point are starting to scale as we need them to, so it starts taking out a monster every hit, maybe 2 hits in the bigger ones. But there we go, and a good amount of gil and XP from that one. And then there's another encounter down here, which is the exact same fight, so I'll join you again after. So here we go, but after doing both of those fights, we could definitely do another quick top-up of healing. I prefer using potions instead of White Mage spell slots at this point. So now we're going to proceed over here to another... this time we're going to proceed south from the Inkling where we came in, and there's going to be 2 routes that we need to go. More poison being inflicted, poisoners being very, very useful, and then we've got all those ethers earlier if we need spell slots back. But down in this room in here, there's 2 more chests. And the Minotaur for another encounter that we need. Nothing too significant, a single hit from the Monk Warrior again should take it out, as you quite clearly saw there. Can hit you a bit harder than a lot of the regular encounters you've seen, but again, nothing too scary. And in here we just get Gil and another squad of monsters. Most of the chests we encounter that have monsters in at this point in the game will be the Earth Elemental, just because that's the dungeon that we're in. So head back up to the centre. And we're going to head west this time. And there's going to be another room down here with another set of items that we're after, or chests that we're after. Man, the encounter rate in this game is so much higher than I remember it being. So another Earth Elemental because there was monsters in that chest, and then another one again. Luckily they're not too difficult, especially when you get preemptive strikes, because you can clear them out relatively easily. So, finished that floor, so just decided to come back to Melman to heal up, and then I will meet you back at the entrance to the Earth Cave, and we'll proceed on to the next floor down. So here we are back in the Earth Cave. I had a couple of encounters here and ended up getting poisoned as soon as I entered. This time we just want to go due west, and there should be a set of stairs leading down. So here we are, floor 2. So there's a bit of an awkward route you can take through here. It's quite easy to get lost, so just follow me. Because there's multiple routes you can take, but only one leads to the correct place. And of course I start getting blocked by a bat. Thank you, moving out of the way. So just down here, and then we want to go directly east, and there's going to be some more bats that hopefully don't get in the way. Just 2 hill Gigases there, needs to give me a heal up. Proceed through. Thank you bats for not getting in the way. In here, and there's 3 more chests after this encounter. So we're going to get some minor amount of gil, a tent, and a coral sword. So coral sword is similar to like the Werebuster and the Rune Blade and that we got, but it's super effective against, effective against aquatic or water enemies. Not that we've really fought too many of those at the moment, other than the weaklings we fight while sailing the boat, which I can already take out in 1 hit. So still nothing new to encounter yet, but proceeding on through. Down this time. Already dealt with a Minotaur before. Those bats thankfully didn't get in the way either. All the way down to the bottom, and there's another room. And the Troll, which is another enemy we're looking for in this area. It might be the last random encounter. So they'll hit quite hard. Unlike the Minotaur, they'll hit a little bit harder. And they have the ability to cast minor spells, memory stoves, but they prioritise physical attacks here. And yep, our monk is nearly down for taking those 2 hits. So we're going to need to heal him up after this, but again, good amount of gil and XP. They can all go down in 1 to 2 hits, depending on who attacks them. So inside here is a monster blocking the entrance. Dealt with the Earth Elemental numerous times at this point. But just need to keep yourself tip-topped in here, because 1 ambush encounter can be the end of you if you let it get that far. No monster encounters, thankfully, in there, and nothing new for the warrior or any equipment for anybody yet. So, after this, of course we get poisoned, we fought a tarantula, always seems to be the case. But yeah, just head back up north here, and we're going to come to one of the bats are getting in the way, and the other, as they both move, the other one blocks me. And then we get an encounter, perfect. As I was saying, head north here, and then this time we want to go east. We've already been into this room. I'm just getting a bit confused. Where we want to go is south from here. We did want to come east over, and then we're getting bats in the way again. They just love getting in my way. And then, yeah, heal up, and then you can already see where the outcome is, where we need to go. It's just over to the right. And then up through these stairs. We're on basement 3. Immediately into an encounter, and we get another enemy that we're looking for, which is the Wight. I think that might be the last one now, the random encounters. Again, not quite strong enough that they can take a hit from the warrior and monk, so as long as we don't get ambushed by these enemies and multi-paralyzed, none of the encounters at the moment are really too difficult. We get paralyzed at the end, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't carry over. So glad stats effects other than poison don't carry out fights. Otherwise, you'd burn through a lot more resources than we currently are. So sleeping bag in here. Nope, I was wrong. There was one more enemy. I think this is potentially the last one now, which is the Ochre jelly. Similar to the users we've previously fought, with decent physical resistance and weakness to magic. I believe they're weak to ice, but I don't 100% remember. But enough physical hits, we'll take them down. Another good amount of XP and some more level ups. We're all at level 22 now, thanks to travelling to and from the caves. So further up, there's only really one way we can go at the moment. Cockatrice. Nope, so there's definitely more enemies you can encounter. These can paralyze you, not paralyze you, these will inflict you with stone if they have the chance of inflicting you with stone if they hit you. Which I'm hoping we don't encounter, but that is why I bought all those gold needles earlier, just so that if we start suffering from that effect we can revert it, because there are some situations, the speedrun especially of this game likes having the warrior stoned, because you still get XP from all the fights, and you just take 0 damage from being hit while you're under the effect of it. And because the warrior is in the top slot, the warrior takes 50% of the hits that are allocated. So it's good just to have something that sits there and cannot be killed. But yes, first we're going to take the eastern route. And there's going to be some chests and locations we're going to go to. So first we're going to go south and find the room here. Just got to get past all the frequent encounters that we keep getting to. But in here is the one chest with another set of monsters in, or monster. We're going to keep going through the Earth Elemental over and over again. So now we're going to head back to the middle where we just came from, and enter that room to grab the chest that's in there. Hopefully not have too many encounters on the way. As I say that, so dealt with all those ogres, but a little bit of a heal up required after that, because they can hit hard, especially when there's that many of them. We can't take them out as stupidly quick, other than black mage magic. Wraith's another enemy that we're looking for. A little bit stronger than the ones we encountered before, which I believe were shadows for the last type, but as you notice, we're such a high level at this point that enemies are fleeing or attempting to flee a lot more frequently. That's the morale system basically in this game. If the enemies think they're outmatched, there's a chance that they just say, we don't want a part of this, and we'll attempt to run away. You might occasionally see one enemy do it per fight, but it's never going to be something too extreme. So we've grabbed the chest in the middle room there now, so now we're just going to proceed to the left western side of this floor and continuing to loop around. Just encounter after encounter non-stop, but there's another room with a monster in here. Another Earth Elemental. I believe that's what all of the monsters in here will be for the next set of floors. Some more Cockatrices, and as you can see, I didn't show the actual getting inflicted with stone, but I did get it after that fight. Another set of monsters. Oh look, another Earth Elemental. Beaten, and then some gil as a reward. A little bit more healing to do, because this is Healara in effect, and it heals everybody up. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you exactly how much, unless you cast it in battle. So we've reached the end of this floor now, but we get a counter right outside. We've reached the end of this floor. I would make a quick save here, but I don't think they'll have too much of a problem, and speak to the bat that's flying around, which, as the name tag suggests, is a vampire. All things in this world are destined to die. The seal cannot be broken, and so the earth shall rot. And it turns into an actual vampire in front of us. You cannot alter destiny. Mere mortals cannot kill the undying. Well, I've killed a lot of, ghosts and skeletons and stuff before now, so I don't think that's entirely true. But just wail on him with the monk and the warrior. The white mage should cast Dia, or the highest level of Dia that you've got, and the black mage should cast Fire Aga or Fire, because that is the things that the vampire is most weak to. A turn or two of doing that, and you should clear him out quite easily. Or one Fire Aga should be enough to clear him out. I didn't think the fight was going to be that quick. So just a slow animation of a boss dying here, but all well and good. And another successful fight. Now we can get the chest that was behind him. So inside the chest, we get the Star Ruby, which is an item we're going to need to proceed further into the story and get further into this dungeon. So as you can see through here, there's get an encounter. There is a statue here, or a plaque on the floor, but nothing we can go through. So I'm going to head outside and meet you. So here we are, going back to Melmond. I'd like to heal up, and then we'll proceed onwards with the next section of the story. So now that I'm all healed up, we're ready to go. So we're going to leave Melmond and we're going to go west. But rather than going down into the little island section to the south on the big triangle, we're going to proceed west a little bit further. So that's where we went south last time, but over here is another cave entrance. So this is the Giant's Cave, and as you can see, there is something that looks a bit like, and we get an encounter, there's something that looks a bit like Titan. We don't have to fight him, but the Star Ruby we got at the bottom of the Earth Cave is the thing we can give him. And this will let us get through to the other side, because he just munches away and eats the Star Ruby that we gave him. Thankfully he then gets out of our way so that we can get through the passageway, but where he goes I have no idea because he just walks off screen. So clearly there's a way out above us that we can't see. We have to take the stairs. But down south from this area there's going to be a room with some chests. So in this room here there's 4 chests. We can get a great axe, some gil, some more gil, and a mithril helm. So other than the helm, there's nothing really we'll equip on the warrior here. Axes are nice damage increases, but the accuracy on them goes right down, so it's not always worth it. Still the debate here of iron versus mithril. It's a change of 6 in both directions, but I think I'll stick with the iron armor for now. After this, so after that encounter, we're going to proceed north and get out of this area. So here we are outside, and now we're going to head south, loop all the way around, and we'll find the next person that we need to speak to. Or the next cave, should I say, that's got somebody in that we need to speak to. But just heal up for the rest of the encounters we're going to get in this area. But luckily, inside the Sage's Cave, at least I believe it's called the Sage's Cave. It was correct. There's no encounters in here. So just head up. There's nothing in here, just some pots. Wondered if you can interact with them like you can in like Pokemon games and whatnot, but no you can't. And then nothing over here other than in this room. And there's just one guy we need to speak to. And he is proud of us for defeating the vampire. But clearly there's something more dangerous at work in the cave than the vampire. So he gives us the earth rod and asks us to go and deal with it. So I wonder what could be at the bottom of the cave. That's subverting the crystal's influence. So I've skipped back down to the Earth Cave where we fought the vampire, just to not have you follow me the walk all the way down here. But the statuette, or the plaque that we could only interact with for dialogue earlier, we put the stone rod on it and it opens up a new set of stairs so we can proceed further down. And we're into the 4th floor now. No new enemies yet, but there will be some upcoming soon if memory serves. So northwest of the area we came in, there's a room with 5 chests in. We're going to have some more monster encounters. This time at least it's not the same monster encounters that we always have, but both of those chests will have the exact same monster encounters, but you should be able to deal with that easily enough. You've got Black Mage spells if you want to take them all out in one go. So this chest, however, will have a new enemy that we're looking for, which is the Sphinx. Again, I believe they have increased crit rates, but the monk and the warrior should both be able to take them down in a single swing or a single punch, either or. Oh no, the monk did a lot less damage there than I thought he would, but the warrior's got it covered. Just took a little bit of damage, but nothing too extreme. So we get some gil, and there's another monster fight, the other one for Sphinxes again. So that's the Sphinxes met. A little bit of healing worth doing after those fights if you take enough damage. Hilara I really like, as even though we've only got 5 spell slots, it's only got life and Diaga, so unless you're getting ready to fight a load of undead enemies, it's always something simple to use. So from the room, we're going to need to head back east again, and then south through here. And then to the left in this room. Little bit of a maze where there's stones that block the routes you want to go. So south again, head to the left or west, and then we want to go up. Man, I keep getting encounter after encounter. Further north, east, west again, and then we're going to go south down here into the next room that's going to have some chests in. And there's another bat in the way, and this one only moves in the direction that I need to go. Please, bat. Please, just get out of my way. Thank you. There we go. So we've made it to the room, and there's an encounter. There's 3 chests in here, each of which will have some monster encounters. This floor, again, all has the same encounters per chest, pretty much. And again. And then the third one, although we did get a nice mithril shield from that, so that's immediately going on a big defense increase. Oh look, monsters again. So yeah, all of those were the exact same fight. But heal up, and then we can proceed back north to where we need to go. So just run back up here. Heal up again, because Psycho Demons are very, very mean. And instead of going south from where we just came from, we're going to want to head north. Man, I feel like I'm getting encounters every 10 steps. And we found the next route down. So, Cavern of Earth B5. Only one way to go at the moment. And nothing to the right of where we just came. So we go up and left, all the way around here. Up into the room. Make a quick save before you go inside, and heal up if you need it, because we're going to be doing a boss fight. So you can see the crystal in the background that looks empty, and there's a orange ball, yellow ball on the floor that we've decided to disturb. And it turns into a creature. I am he who feeds on the power of the earth. I will not be disturbed by mortal men. I am the Lich, fiend of earth. And we're fighting our first of the fiends, the Lich. So the warrior and the monk are free to attack. The white mage should cast Dia or Diaga, whichever you've got best. And the black mage can just go with Fyra or Fyraga, whichever the highest one you've got is. And you should end up doing a lot of damage. He has sleep, which you just saw there, puts our warrior to sleep, so I can't act until you wake up. Which I believe is if you get physically hit or you just have a chance of waking up on your turn, and we do it first time. But repeat this and he should go down in no time at all, even with continuously casting sleep on my party. He's got some strong physical hits as well, but with the white mage's ability to heal and the amount of items you've got, he should go down in no time at all, especially with Diaga finishing him off there. So there we go, that's the first of your fiends defeated. The Lich is gone. But I wonder now who could be corrupting the other crystals of water, air and fire. We'll have to find out as and when we get to them. But there we hold our earth crystal up to the much bigger crystal. And it regains its glow. So I believe that means the earth crystal is working again. And we all raise our fists in the air to say success. So this little glowing thing in the back is a shortcut to get out, but this is, you can interact with the altars, it just tells you what they are for. But yeah, if you walk up to this, interact there, and it just takes you to the entrance of the cave. So now that we're back here, I will go and meet you in Melmond, because I would like to heal up, and it's been quite a heavy, quite heavy on resources clearing that dungeon. So now I'm back in Melmond, all I'd like to do is do a quick heal up, and then I think that will be the end of this part here. So thank you for joining me. We're getting close to probably about the halfway point of this playthrough now, but we've defeated the first of the 4 fiends. I think it's no secret we started the game with 4 crystals. So I hope you've been enjoying, and I hope to catch you in the next part. Goodbye.